The moment the market cracked, chaos erupted. Brokers ran, screens flashed red, and billions vanished in seconds. While the world panicked, executives walked away untouched, powerful, shadowed, untouchable. A towering empire that once symbolized success now crumbled, its foundations built on deception. Employees stared in disbelief. Years of hard work vanished in an instant. Like dominoes, the crisis spread across the globe, toppling economies. Hidden beneath layers of complex financial instruments, failing mortgages triggered a cascade of losses. Families lost homes, jobs, and savings. Ordinary lives destroyed by corporate greed. Lehman Brothers, 158 years of history, vanished over a single weekend, shaking the financial world to its core. The shockwaves spread worldwide, affecting banks, governments, and millions of lives. Unchecked ambition and blind faith in numbers can topple even the mightiest empires. Enron's rise seemed unstoppable, a beacon of energy innovation, but beneath the surface, debts hid in shadowy subsidiaries. Executives manipulated profits, creating illusions of wealth. Investors were blind to the cracks forming beneath them. Eventually, the house of cards collapsed, leaving destruction in its wake. Lehman Brothers followed a similar fate, swallowed by risky bets. Global banks froze, credit dried up, panic spread. People lost jobs, savings, and trust in institutions. Governments scrambled to prevent total collapse. Regulations tightened, but loopholes remained. The 2008 financial crisis revealed systemic flaws. Trust evaporated, leaving fear in its place. Credit markets froze. Businesses struggled to survive. Enron, Lehman, and others became lessons in greed and oversight failure. Millions of people suffered, while a few profited. The lessons remain relevant today, as greed never truly sleeps. New financial instruments echo the mistakes of the past. Unchecked ambition still drives the market today. We are all participants in a system built on trust and risk. Understanding it is no longer optional. It's survival. Even today, corporate fraud hides behind complex numbers and legal loopholes. Accounting tricks make losses disappear on paper. Investors believe in the illusion, unaware of the cracks below. When the cracks widen, panic spreads like wildfire. Banks stop lending, businesses fail, and economies tremble. Millions of jobs vanish, savings disappear, trust evaporates. Governments scramble to stabilize markets with emergency measures. Even bailouts cannot protect everyone equally. The lessons of Enron and Lehman echoed globally, yet the mechanisms that caused these crises remain in place. Speculation, leverage, and greed create fragile empires. A single misstep can trigger collapse. Corporate scandals are not just historical, they continue today. Auditors, regulators, and investors often failed to see warning signs. The 2008 financial crash showed the danger of interconnected markets. Failure in one country can ripple across the globe. Trust in the financial system is fragile. A few executives can decide who wins and who loses. Public outrage often follows the aftermath of scandal, yet many corporations continue practices that create risk. Financial history is a story of cycles of boom and bust. Each scandal teaches lessons that are often forgotten. Greed, ambition, and blind faith are constant threats. Failures in oversight amplify these risks. Markets are fragile networks, easily disrupted by deception. One hidden risk can trigger global chaos. Corporate scandals leave lasting scars on economies and on the people who trusted these institutions. Yet corporate power continues to shape the world economy. The question remains, will we learn before the next collapse? Every scandal leaves lessons ignored by those who follow. New instruments emerge, often repeating old mistakes. Investors chase profits, sometimes at society's expense. Financial bubbles rise, ignoring warning signs. When bubbles burst, the world pays the price. Banks collapse, governments intervene, and fear spreads. Lives are disrupted, trust is shattered. Even large institutions are vulnerable to failure. Executives manipulate perception while reality crumbles. Auditors and regulators often fail to act in time. Greed drives risk-taking beyond reason. The 2008 financial crash was a warning we barely heeded. History repeats when greed goes unchecked. Society bears the cost of corporate excess, yet few are held accountable. The media highlights the scandal, but life moves on. Economic pain lingers long after the headlines fade. The cycle of boom and bust continues. Markets are fragile, yet human ambition persists. Corporate greed adapts, finding new avenues to exploit. Auditing, regulation, and oversight struggle to keep pace. One false move can cascade into global chaos. The past warns, yet history is often ignored. Financial crises are human stories, not just numbers. Millions depend on the stability of complex systems. One scandal can ripple far beyond borders. The world watches as the powerful evade consequences, yet the lessons are visible to those who pay attention. Understanding these patterns is key to survival. As we look back, patterns emerge across decades. Fraud, greed, and mismanagement repeat in cycles. Bubbles form, rise, and eventually burst. Collapse follows, often unexpectedly. Institutions scramble to mitigate damage, yet ordinary people bear the greatest cost. Scandals expose weaknesses in oversight. Regulations adapt, but loopholes persist. Transparency is critical, yet often missing. The economy is a delicate, interconnected system. One failure can cascade globally. Trust in institutions is fragile and must be earned. Corporate ambition drives both innovation and risk. Failures provide lessons if we choose to see them. Yet many repeat the same mistakes, blinded by short-term gain. Ethics often lose to profits. History shows the consequences are real. Millions of people's lives are disrupted, yet corporate power continues to shape the global economy. Unchecked ambition is a constant force. The lessons of the past remain relevant today. Transparency, ethics, and oversight are crucial. Every stakeholder has a role to play. The system is only as strong as its weakest link. Unchecked risk can destabilize even the strongest institutions. History is written by those who survive the collapse. Those who learn, adapt, and act wisely may endure, but greed, ignorance, and negligence ensure repetition. Financial systems are human-made and fallible. Every collapse teaches us about risk and responsibility. Yet few truly internalize these lessons. Cycles of greed and collapse continue relentlessly. Every generation faces similar choices and dangers. Transparency and accountability can mitigate risk, but vigilance is never permanent. It must be continuous. Technology increases both opportunity and vulnerability. Even sophisticated systems are not immune to human error. Corporate scandals leave scars that last for decades, yet knowledge of history can prevent repetition. Ethics, oversight, and transparency are our strongest defenses. The power to prevent collapse lies with those who act wisely. Ignoring warning signs guarantees future crises. The human cost is always real, never abstract. Yet lessons are available to those willing to see them. Corporate scandals are both history and warning. Awareness and vigilance are our strongest tools. Every collapse begins with human choices. Financial literacy is a shield against disaster. Ignoring history guarantees repetition. The cycle continues unless we intervene. Responsibility, ethics, and knowledge are key to breaking the cycle. We must act before the next collapse. Ignoring warning signs invites disaster. Financial systems are fragile but salvageable. Ethics, transparency, and vigilance are our strongest defenses. Every collapse begins with human choices. Learning from the past is the key to survival. The next collapse is preventable if we choose to act. History warns us, but only those who listen can change the outcome. The question remains, will we learn before the next global scandal?